Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TC Talk, back today with another video. In today's video, I'll be doing a recap of how my ProQuest went on Ira, talk about some changes, if any, I would make, or just some general play stuff, and kind of give you a recap of how the event went, because it was pretty fun. So we had I don't remember the exact number, it was in between like 28 and 30 players. I remember counting the room, it was like 27, I don't know what the final count ended up being, but it was under 32, because we had a 5-round ProQuest event at Lifelink Games in Virginia. Super fun. And it was, like I said in the last video, it was a really weird ProQuest because some of the our locals that come every week, like 2 of them weren't playing. 2 of the players that we normally see, like Conrad and Sam. So it was one of those ProQuests, because it's the week after the Pro Tour, like it could have been a really small ProQuest or kind of a medium-sized one. We weren't sure who all was going to make the trip down, because we have in Virginia, where we live in Charlottesville, we have people from Roanoke that come up, people come down from DC, people come from Richmond. It all depends on how the events all line up, but it was a pretty good turnout, super fun. Ended up playing Ira Scarlet Avenger, and the short of it is ended up going 3-2 and missing the top cut. Not quite what I wanted to do. I really thought I had a really good shot making top 8. I felt really good about the list and just the hero in general and how I play into certain decks, and I knew that although Ira does have some tough matchups, I felt really good about it. But I'll go through it. Round 1 was against another Ira, a really awesome player. Their deck was triple sleeved, and so I could tell it was triple sleeved. And so when they put their deck on the table, right, like normally you roll first and then you sideboard, and you can't ask how many cards people are presenting until you present your deck, and you can't change it after that. I thought they were probably running like 63, 66 cards or whatever. Maybe they were fat decking, because they said that they weren't sure what to take out. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. This will be like another mid-range battle. No, turns out they ran 71 cards in them. I didn't know that until after we presented decks. And they were running 20 defense reactions. They were running Sink, Fate, Shelter, That All You Got, Wax On, Wax Off. That's 18. And I think they were running something else. And they were running Oasis Respite. It was a complete fatigue list. I don't know if that was purposeful or not. They said it wasn't, but it is crazy you would run 71 cards in Ira. But regardless, they played it really, really well. I wasn't prepared for it. I went into a lean 60, and I tried. Once they said 71, I was like, okay, I need to pitch away threats, and I was doing that. I was swinging some of my cards, but the problem was I only had one pair of 6 powers in the deck in the Command and Conquer. I didn't side in or raise face or cut to the facade or anything like that, and normally in like Florian matchups or something, when I have a race face and CNC in the deck and stuff like that, it's a little bit easier to pitch away reds with the blue, because you'll Kodachi for 1, Kodachi for 2, and then you're floating 1, and you'll pitch a red go again attack to throw like a CNC or an erase face, which allows you to stack blue, red, blue, red, stuff like that. And I couldn't do that as easy because of not having that game plan, but I tried. And then so the other thing I knew I had to do was try to set up a 5-card dual threat turn. That was a little bit difficult, just because the one time I got my dual threat in Arsenal, they threw a CNC for 7 at me, so I had to block with 2 cards because I wanted to preserve life. And then by that point in the game, I basically only could throw 4-card dual threat turns, and my best dual threat turn was 15 to 20 damage or something like that, and they need to be over 20 in that situation to try to push through. I got them all down the way down to 2, played the best I could, and ended up getting fatigued. It is what it is. I just wasn't prepared to play against the Ira fatigue round 1 of a ProQuest. That was not on my bingo card, is what I told them. But they played super well, so GG Sim on that round. I then ended up playing a Marionette. That went pretty standard. Marionette's, it's really bad for Marionette, in my opinion, against Ira. I've played both sides of that matchup a lot. And when I'm running Sink, Shelter, and Flick Flack with That All You Got, it's very difficult for them to do anything. They have to really high roll, and I have to really draw the wrong hand at the wrong time type thing, with a bunch of 2 blocks or something. But regardless, I won that matchup pretty handedly. Just kind of mid-ranged them out, ended up winning. I was still on 18 life when the round was over. They played as well as they could. That matchup's really bad for them. Round 3 was against a Dash IO. This was the round where I couldn't do anything about what happened. Turn 0, so they went first. I don't remember the exact line they took. It was something like they started by paying Cerebellum off the top, pitching a blue, floating 2. They cranked it, had 1 counter on it, right, went to 2 action points. Then they played a Fast and Furious for 4 go again. They played, so now they've used 2 cards total from hand. They have 2 cards left. They ended up playing a red backup protocol from hand, cranking it, still floating 2. They played another attack, or not another attack. They did the backup protocol, or they drew a card from Cerebellum, played an attack, activated 2 to then play Fast and Furious again. Something like that. It was some spark play. All I know, I don't remember the exact play. It definitely started with a Fast and Furious, and it ended with a Max V. That's all I know. Sorry, I can't remember the exact line. But regardless of that, I had a defense reaction, a 2 block, and 2 3 blocks in my hand. And by the time they played the Max V at the end of their turn, I had taken 13. So you do the math, 4, 7, 10. I had 12 block in my hand, and I got dealt 13. So they dealt 25 damage, turn 0. That's basically what ended up happening, however that line got there. So going into my turn 1, I am losing 27 to 40. And from that on, it was just like that's kind of how it went. I did as good as I could. I ended up, and then when I drew up on my turn 1, I drew into, because I drew a blue on my turn 0. I ended up drawing an erase face, 2 erase faces, a CNC, and a sensor. So I just threw a erase face for 6, arsenaled the CNC. And they blocked with all their equipment to keep a 5-card hand, and I continued to get pummeled the rest of the game. I actually got them down to like 6 cards, and I hit them with a sensor because they were just trying to take damage so they could kill me. And I looked through all their grave and stuff. All their 0-60s were gone. All their zipper hits were gone. All their backup protocols were gone. All their Fast and Furiouses were gone. And they had played a Max V twice because they backup protocol to get it back, and they had banished 1 away. I thought they were on 2 Max Vs. I didn't see them pitch it away. They said they had pitched it away, and I guess I just didn't notice. It was a misplay on my part. So I named Boom Grenade because there were still 2 Boom Grenades in the deck. I made the safest play I could. I think I'd die anyway because there was a Boom Grenade on top of their deck. So if I would have named Max V, they would have just played the Boom Grenade anyway. Because I was at 2 life, and I knew like if they can't play Boom Grenade, then I can block safely on 1-card blocks on at least 1 attack if it's a break point. And they ended up playing a Max V and killing me. Like I said, I was like 1 or 2 hands away from winning, despite taking 13 turn 0. So I was 1 and 2, and at this point you're out of top 8 contention unless something stupid happens. But we play it out anyway. And round 4 and 5, I played Prisms both rounds, and both rounds won pretty handedly. It's definitely not an auto win by any means, but it is very much favored for Ira. If I had to give an arbitrary number, I'd say it's 60-40 in Ira's favor, in my opinion. If you have any amount of tech, especially if you have 1 set of 7-power poppers, and in my deck specifically into Prism, I'm running 9 poppers, including a set of 7 powers, and I'm running 9 defense reactions. So, I mean, it's hard for them to really do much, in my opinion. So one of both of those ended up going 3 and 2. It was a really fun time. The first loss, I misplayed a little bit by just maybe not hedging in a couple more attacks, noticing how big their deck was. So that's on me. But game 3, I took 13 damage turn 0. What can you do? You know what I mean? But we still had fun. As far as the list is concerned, there's not much I would change, to be completely honest with you. Everything feels really good. Into this meta specifically, it sounds weird, but I might start playing 2 or 3 of Burns of the past. This card late game against heroes that are just running a crap ton of defense reactions, or in the mid game, is super nice. Like against that Ira, if I would have had 3 of these, I might have won the game, because there would have been some point in the middle game where I would have played this. They've definitely probably played 10 defense reactions. I mean, that's great. That's a really unique point for drawing the card. But like if they would have had a hand like Shelter, Sink, Fate, and they've already played 1, well, I just made them not be able to block with 3 cards in their hand. And, against Earth, it's also really good. I might end up trying to make room for that. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, I really like it. I ended up making 1 change post video yesterday. I ended up putting Cut Through the Facade. I heard there was still going to be 1 or 2 Prisms coming, even though Conrad wasn't playing. And then I know Armin plays Vincent, so I figured this is the best 7-power popper for everybody. Again, the 1 double strike was for memes, and then we had the defensive package here and then a race face. But overall, I'm happy with how I played. The Ira game is probably where I made the biggest mistake, but I'd love to run it back. I have work next weekend, so I'm probably not going to be able to go to another ProQuest, sadly. I think I've gotten 3 and 2 at literally like 3 ProQuests in a row. it's sad. I just need to like crack top 8 and get back to what I was doing before. But we had fun no matter what. I'm super happy. I don't know who ended up winning. Mara Forest was it got the first seed at 5-0 on Aurora. So hopefully, I actually hope she wins because I want to see Aurora keep getting living legend points. But Mara's also a fantastic player. I think there was a Victor in top 8. Yeah, there was 2 Victors in top 8. Mara was on Aurora. We had at least 1 Prism and Ira in top 8. And we had probably a Florian, I think. So it's a bunch of different heroes. So really, really cool there. But yeah, hopefully everybody has a good ProQuest as well. Let me know how y'all did. I'm super happy where the meta's at. I think we're in a really cool spot. Aurora is very powerful, but I think there's a lot of decks to be played even after it's in an Enigma Go, and there's a lot of different adaptations you can do with certain decks. But yeah, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are as well. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I'll keep trying to do some updates when I can. If we get any Ira winners or any Syndra winners or any cool ninja deck lists or assassin deck lists, I'll definitely cover them on the channel if the person's okay with it, or just talk about it in general. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk.